New details have been released about the John Wick game. Let's get right into this. So, if you don't know, yesterday during the state of play for PlayStation, near the end of it, near the tail end of it, we got literally reveal of the John Wick game. And if you don't know, also, this game has been in development. It was kind of, I feel like a few months ago, I'd say. Yeah, probably a few months ago. That was when they kind of made the announcement that the game was actually in development alongside, I think, a Saw game. But besides the point, I'm like, whoa, that's kind of unexpected. And then, boom, yesterday, during State of Play, that's when they officially revealed actual gameplay and did like the reveal trailer, etc., whatever, of the game. And it caught everyone off guard. No one was expecting that. That was not on anyone's bingo cards. So, yeah, besides the point, it's very hype. Very hype. And especially if you're a John Wick fan like me, you're even more hype about it. Because going from the movies, into the game, there's a lot of potential, and from what we saw, is looking they're on the right path. That's what I can say. They're on the right path because they're taking a lot of the elements that made the movies great, and they're in the game. So that's a recipe for success. Like this, like I was saying during my video from yesterday about the State of Play. Go check it out if you haven't already. But one of the main things I was saying was that John Wick is one of those games or one of those movies, franchise that can easily just transform into a game. And it's literally perfect for a game. It is kind of, in a way, similar. I think they're similar to Hitman. But this is all out just like no rules, anything. There kind of are rules, you know what I mean? Kind of in a way. But generally speaking, John Wick does what he wants. It's really that simple. And like, yeah, there are rules because apparently this game has the high table involved or something. But I'm not too sure about that. But the details I can talk about, that I know for sure, like online that are official, are these right here. So, the first new detail that we got revealed after the game was revealed was that it's a single-player, third-person action game. And the reason why this is crucial is because we knew it was gonna be a single-player game. Okay, like that wasn't up in the question, but it was what type of game is it gonna be? Because then again, the game did have at the beginning of it, majority of that reveal trailer was just, how do I put it? You know, they use like the 3D, no, not 3D, but has used footage that's not actually gameplay, if you know what I mean. Like just the 3D animation trailers, whatever. It's like kind of like a render. Anyways, you know what I mean there. And then they did show a bit of gameplay at the end, and it did make it seem like, okay, this is very clearly a single player game that is third person, because you see John Wick literally stabbing people, obviously fighting a whole bunch of people, stabbing them, having like nice fight sequences, battles that are really like choreographed just like the movies, and that kind of confirmed it there. But then again, this is gonna be very fun. From just a little bit we saw, and there's gonna be madness in this, and this is the perfect thing. If it was anything else, I don't think it would have made sense. But this is the perfect way to go about it for this game, for this type of game, for a John Wick game, a single player third person action game. Perfect. That's what we want, so they nailed that right there. In terms of second detail that we know, it takes place before the events of all 4 John Wick films. So the first thing about this is that it's a prequel. So this means that literally, like it says here, before all 4 John Wick films is taking place. So they can actually do some interesting stuff with lore. I wonder, most likely they will have some references into the first movie especially, but maybe there's even like a deeper effect into the next, like the 2, 3, and 4 movies, right? Obviously they're all released, but you get what I mean. This is a way to kind of recontextualize everything that we like, the way we see the movies. After the game comes out, you play them, and then you watch the movies. It could change the way you view it, the characters, the story, etc. So that's why I really like this. And also, if it's not obvious, if it's not apparent already, I'll just state it very clearly. This means that it's canon as well. It's canon. So not only is it a prequel, it's also canon. And the reason why this is so good is because, I feel like they can do a lot of stuff here. They have a lot of room to play because it's a prequel. So they're not constrained to the stuff that literally happened in the movies, right? Because then, if they did it as a sequel, which would be after John Wick 4, that kind of mess up their plans for John Wick 5, because we know what the ending of John Wick 4. So there got kind of messed. So obviously doing a prequel would be the best thing to do. But also here, maybe when the 5th movie comes out, there are potential there's potential stuff that happens in this game that then affects maybe some stuff in part 5 perhaps. So I know some people might not like that, but me personally, I like that. I like that, especially if this is done right. This will be perfect because this could have lasting consequences, like ripple effects, if you know what I mean. If this is done properly. What else was I gonna say? What else was I gonna say about this? But yeah, but this also means that technically speaking, if you want to know the whole lore of John Wick, you'd have to play the game. I don't know. I know that's gonna rub people the wrong way about it, but like I said, if it's done right, if the story's actually good, then I don't think that's really a problem. But then again, I know some people don't like it when stuff gets canonized throughout different medium. Sorry. So we'll see about that. But I still like it. And honestly, another thing here, the next one is that Chad, and I always mess up his last name, but he's the director. He literally the director of John Wick films. Obviously, like literally the best choreographer, fight sequence person. He advised on the game itself, and here I'll talk about the next one as well. Keanu Reeves will reprise his role, and the reason why these two are very important is because this means that they believe in this game heavily. If you're getting the people from the actual movie, especially Keanu Reeves, obviously John Wick, and also Chad, who literally was the only reason movies were the way they were was because of him. Like, he was the focal point of it. Obviously, sorry, let me rephrase that. Obviously, there's a lot of people that worked on the movie, made it the way it is, but he was the main reason why the movies were the way they are, why they're so beloved, right? The fight sequences, the choreography, just insane sequences they had in there, action stuff. It's because of him. So the fact that you have him advising on there, that's why the fight sequences probably look so good, right? He's giving them notes. He's probably seeing obviously he's seeing what they're doing, and then they're sending it to him, and he's like, okay, you know what? This is good, but here are my notes. This could be a bit better. This could be a bit more, etc. So it looks more real to what they look like in the movies, the fight sequences. That's why I was surprised. I'm like, damn, the fight sequences look identical almost to the movies. And I read this somewhere else. I don't know if it's true or not, but they're apparently trying to blur the lines between the movies and the games, like in terms of what can be like, just how, in terms of the best way, they're blurring it to make it seem like you can't tell the difference between it being a video game versus it being actually a movie, right? And from what we've seen so far, it's looking very, very good. That's all I can say. And yeah, like I said again, I don't think they would have made this canon if Chad and Keanu weren't involved. So obviously the story they cooked up, this primary story they cooked up is very, very good. And like I said again, I wouldn't be surprised if this has some type of through line. Well, it would technically have a through line, but if this has some type of, if the story in this part, in the prequel of this John Wick game, somehow plays a part in John Wick 5. I wouldn't be surprised about that. But I'm just very excited to see how this recontextualizes the entire John Wick franchise, essentially. And also, I wonder if they're going to reference Ballerina in here and some other John Wick like spin-offs. Maybe we'll see some of those characters in there, because I wonder what other characters are going to have in this game. Right, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Because I know it's a prequel, but then again, we'll see. And perhaps, who knows, they introduce, obviously there's going to be new characters in here that we've never seen before. Perhaps see those characters in, like I said, in part 5, John Wick 5. Who knows? Because I feel like this is going under the radar. I feel like it's a very calculated move here. Like, that's going to have a lot more meaning later on. We'll see. And then, obviously, like I said, great having both in there. That means there's a lot of confidence in this project. Otherwise, I don't think this project would have happened, to be honest. And then lastly, the game is released on PS5, Xbox, and PC. And I know a lot of people, including me, I even thought that, oh wait, this game revealed at the PlayStation State of Play, that most likely means that it's exclusive. No, it's not. And yeah, it's made by Saber. Saber was Interactive, I think. They're doing it. They're kind of cooking lately. But besides the point, the last thing is that most likely this game, like I was saying in my other video, this game, obviously they've made significant progress on this game. It looks like it's well in development. But then again, it said they're on the wish list. It's on like the wish list now. No release date, not even a year or anything, which means that the game's still at least a year or two out. I'd say at the bare minimum, could be even more. And honestly, I don't know at this point what's going on with the PlayStation 6, because the rumors I know they delayed it by at least a year or two. So maybe this game could be a launch title for the PS6. Like I know it's saying they're going for the PS5 this generation, but who knows? Who knows if it might end up being a I guess, a cross-gen title per se. Near the PS6 launch. That's what it could be. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, besides the point, that's kind of what I want to talk about here. Very excited. This game has so much potential. This is such an easy home run. And from what, like I said, from what we've seen so far, it's looking very, very good. I'm just so excited to play this game whenever it comes out, whatever year it is. And yeah, the fact that they're tying this into the actual John Wick films gives this game more weight, right? So when you see stuff happen here, maybe someone dies or something very tragic happens, very hype, extreme, you're then okay, it has even more weight, stakes to it because it's tied into the movies now. It's a prequel. So then maybe it makes sense more stuff, some of the stuff that happens in the movies later on makes more sense. Do this. So like I said, there's a lot of fun possibilities in terms of story that they can do here because it's a prequel and canon. And even how it could affect stuff that they release later in the future, like sequels, like John Wick 5. Anyways, enough walking for me. Let me know what you think down below about these details about the John Wick game. Are you excited for this game? Are you not? And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next one. Peace.